Hello? Hello? So yesterday we got some news that the ABS-CBN franchise has not been renewed and they have been asked to stop broadcasting. So all radio and TV broadcasts from the network will no longer be available. And I've been processing this news. Personally, I'm not affected by this. I don't have a TV. I don't watch ABS-CBN except for the news, but that's still going to be available, I believe, online. So it shouldn't bother me that much. But if we apply that line of thinking, then we fall into this trap of only caring about things that affect us. It's a not in my backyard mentality that we should not encourage. So I've been simmering in rage for the past few hours about what has happened because this is very clearly bullying and I hate bullies. I grew up being bullied. This is bullying writ large, basically. The NTC was planning on giving ABS-CBN a temporary permit to operate, but Solicitor General Calida has said that you have to apply the law, and the NTC does not have that power. So the shutdown has to continue, has to proceed. And this is, again, very clearly bullying because it's mighty convenient for this administration to trumpet law and order right now when this president filed his application for candidacy past the deadline. So it's funny how they suddenly observe rules because it's convenient for them. Much in the same way that Coco Pimentel is afforded mercy and Mocha Uson can gather those people, but normal citizens who don't have clout, who don't have pull, are shot, are persecuted by the police. So don't throw it's the law in this argument. This government very clearly has a loose relationship with the law. And it's frustrating to see how many of those former supporters of Duterte are now coming out, these media personalities coming out to say that this government is repressing press freedom. No shit. This is not the first time the government has done this. But because Rappler does not sponsor actors, does not create TV shows, nobody gave a shit back then. Or at least the people who could have done something did not do anything. The people who could have said something, the people whom the masses listened to, they did nothing. And now it's in their backyard. The government's overreach is in their backyard. And their hashtag defend press freedom. Yes, it's true. We should defend press freedom. But where was this activism when people were dying? I wonder what celebrities like Ardel Ignacio, Ice Seguera, Cesar Montano, people who have either worked with ABS-CBN or, in the case of Ice Seguera, engaged with Star Records, what are they thinking now? And this is something that became very apparent with this COVID crisis, that people only suddenly care because it's affecting their backyard. Where was this outcry when Kian died? Where was it? Celebrities, actors, people who have a platform, where were you? As angry as I am about this situation, I don't think we should turn them away because every person in this fight is an ally. But we should not be ignorant of these very conscious decisions. Their actions, their inaction, have very real consequences. They could have done something, and yet they vacillated. They chose to be neutral, and there are no neutral parties in this fight. The only way we get out of this is if we lock arms and prepare to protect each other. Because it's going to happen again. We have to protect each other. We have to stand up for each other. Otherwise, we're just going to fall apart. When the people who come after us, when our children and our grandchildren look back on this moment of history, how will they judge us? How will they judge our actions? Will they ask, why didn't they do anything? How do we choose to act after this? And this is not a political question. Human rights is not a question of politics. Any politician who takes the stand against human rights is a terrible person. Any person who takes a stand against human rights is a terrible person. Because one can argue for an increase or decrease in interest rate. You cannot argue about the rights of people and still say that you're a good person. There is no gray area when it comes to defending our right to a free press. Especially now. Congress and Senate, they weren't able to work on this franchise renewal. And rightly so. This is not the thing that they should be worried about right now. People are dying. People need to get fed. People need to have jobs. We're in the middle of a pandemic, of a crisis. And the government is choosing to flex its powers by silencing a major news network, a major media company. I don't know if this is diversion for something else. I don't know what they think they're doing, if they are thinking. Because right now, there is a deep well from which people draw their outrage. And people are still mad at how this government is handling the COVID crisis. They're thinking that, oh, let's add this one more thing so that we distract people from this failure in COVID response. It's not going to work. People have a lot of free time now. We have a lot of free time to be angry. And we are angry. The last time that ABS-CBN was shut down was in 1972 when the dictator Ferdinand Marcos took over the network. There's a dictator who just shut down this network. And we've shown in the past what we do with dictators. So that's it. I wasn't really planning on going political right away. Not because I shy away from it, but because I want to talk about more personal things. But this is personal for me, as I think it should be for every Filipino. There's a lot of fear, a lot of anger going around, a lot of despair. I think that's okay. I think what's important is we work through our feelings and see how we can help society. And wherever you are, whatever you're going through right now, I hope life treats you well.